It's time for CityBeat, your source for all the latest news on the city of Thompson. Only on 102.9 CHTM, your radio station.
Hello and welcome to CityBeat. I'm your host, Jaret Schneider, and joining me today is Mayor of Thompson, Tim Johnston. Good morning, Mayor Johnston.
Good morning.
Before we get with the questions, I'll give you the first minute, as always, to run things down from the past week.
Well, just a couple highlights over the last week. I had the opportunity to attend the Manitoba Mining Conference in Winnipeg last week, and it was a good opportunity to get a little bit of an update in terms of what's happening in the mining across the province, and certainly have an opportunity to address and discuss with the mining companies as well as some of the suppliers what's taking place here in Thompson and the opportunities that hopefully will present themselves in the next little while in terms of maintaining Thompson as a the mining center for northern Manitoba certainly, and I certainly believe the mining center in Manitoba. Unfortunately, as I was out of the city, I wasn't able to participate in the community parade and the tree lighting, but I understand despite the little bit nippy weather, it was extremely well received with lots of people out, so I want to thank all those people that were involved in the organization, including the Recreation Department, and especially those people that put the floats in, and of course those that attended. I think this is a great community event, and a little bit of cold weather won't stop us. We're pretty used to that, so that was good. Yesterday I had the opportunity to attend the installation of UCN President and Vice Chancellor Conrad Johnston. It was just an absolutely phenomenal event, and I think it's a great time for northern Manitoba to see a northerner taking over at UCN, and I have all the confidence Conrad has led there over the last little while, and but really, from my perspective, tremendous northern leader, great vision for UCN, and I'm extremely confident that we're going to continue to see that institution grow. I've often said I think fundamentally it's probably the single biggest change that I think we will see for generations, because it will provide generations with the opportunity to receive education that really wasn't available in the North, and they could not have picked a better leader than Conrad Johnston. So I was very pleased to be a part of that event, and it was a great event. Last night I attended the public open house regarding our wastewater treatment plant that was held at the Thompson Regional Community Center, and this is a major initiative that the City of Thompson will be undertaking likely in 2014-15 and hopefully open 16 or 17. Roughly a neighborhood of $35 million. It is a requirement in terms of meeting the provincial standards. The good news is, because the City of Thompson chose a few years ago to go with the utility type system, we will be eligible for at least 60% of the costs. And that was one of the fundamental reasons that we moved forward with the utility, and it will certainly pay off when we'll see ourselves paying a third rather than 100%. So I appreciate all those people that came out. It was very informative, and still a lot of work to be done, and hopefully we'll beat some of the pricing when we go to tender, but the good opportunity for the public to stay informed on what's going on with that project. A couple other little quick things. One is I want to extend congratulations to CHTM on moving to the FM format, 102.9. I think it's absolutely great. I certainly have heard the difference as I drive around the community in terms of the quality of the sound, so it's great, and congratulations. A couple other key things from a city point of view. One is that we really urge caution in and around Thompson because of the huge amount of snowfall that we've had over the last couple of weeks. We know there's hidden obstacles. We know that in terms of recreational activities, that the ground probably isn't frozen. Certainly some of the creeks and the waterways aren't frozen to the degree that we would normally expect with this amount of snow, so people really have to take caution in and around. And certainly from a snow clearing point of view, it's been a challenge in November. I understand up until last week we had received 77 centimeters. Our annual total is 130 for the year. So I really want to thank our crews. We've been working overtime, and I appreciate the commitment of our staff to do that. Our big challenge right now is trying to remove some of the snow. We know the roads have gotten a little bit narrower, so we're going to be out trying to remove some of that snow, so we're ready for the next snowfall, because I don't think it's just going to stop because we're reaching some of our seasonal highs. So I appreciate the caution that people are showing and their patience in terms of working with us to get out and about to get the neighborhoods cleared.
204-677-8181. We have Mayor Tim Johnston joining us today, 204-677-8181. Now, we'll get into some of the snow plows and stuff and the snow in just a little bit, but maybe we'll go to the mining conference first. You mentioned it right off the top that you were down there last week. So what were some of the things that you got to see there and some of the benefits that we might see here as a city?
Well, we had the opportunity to attend a number of different events in conjunction and a number of sessions. Certainly heard the Minister Chomniak speak, both at an event on the opening night that the City of Thompson is a part of a sponsor, and I had a chance to address the crowd as well and talk about Thompson's role as that mining center. And then the next morning we had an opportunity to hear a couple presentations, one presentation from the province in terms of what's happening overall in the mining industry, and then Vale made a number of presentations over the conference, and I had a chance to hear some of those. And I think that in light of some of the other media reports that have been out and about, I think the future looks very good for Thompson. We have to continue to work as a community with all stakeholders at the table, but it looks like there's a real bright future for Thompson as a mining community in Thompson, and I want to acknowledge specifically the work that we've seen from Vale and Lovro Pollock and the United Steelworkers, Murray Nichaporak. I've said many times, this city is the leadership that we have and their connection to the community has been absolutely huge in getting us to this point, and I believe in working with the federal government and the provincial government as well, and certainly our MLA Steve Ashton, who has been a champion. We're going to get there, and I think the future, again, will be very bright for mining in Thompson.
204-677-8181. Now, maybe not to make you think back too much, but looking at the conference, you said Vale made a presentation. There were a few other presentations. What were some of the things that you might have saw from the Vale presentation, maybe in regards to Thompson and some of the Thompson activity over the next year or a couple of years?
Well, there were a few presentations that Vale had made. Ryan Land spoke just on community engagement and some of the very positive work that has been done in terms of engaging neighboring communities, especially in the workforce and in a respectful manner. And then Mark Scott spoke just in terms of what's happening with plans for the Thompson ore body and some of the opportunities that might present themselves in the future. And I'll note that I attended a number of sessions. Mark's was probably one of the most attended session that I certainly was at, and I think that speaks volumes to the sort of the energy or the interest in what's taking place in Thompson by the whole mining industry across the province. So I thought the Valley presentations were very good, and we certainly have a very strong relationship, so we were aware of most of those things, but I thought it was great to get the word out to the rest of the province about the really good things that are being done here, and so it was a very positive event for our community.
204-677-8181. Now, maybe going back to last night, you mentioned you attended the public open house here that was held on the wastewater treatment plant. Now, maybe just go into that a little bit. What were some of the things that you might have saw for anyone who might have came to that last night, and what were some of the future plans maybe that the city has for it?
Well, what they would have seen is the overall plan that has been put together in terms of the need to move in this direction in terms of meeting provincial standards. They had a schematic drawing of the building. They had the time frame presented as well as the budget. So I thought that there was probably 10 sort of billboards that people could review, but I thought it gave a very good indication of the process that we need to follow. We still have to get environmental licensing, which is a first step, and will probably take us into probably spring of 2014. Then we'll go to tender, and then ultimately we'll go to construction. And so it's, I noted to some people that were there that it will be the largest single project that the City of Thompson will have ever undertaken. And in the neighborhood again of, I believe it's 36 million is what the estimate is. We're hoping we can beat that, but again, it's going to take a lot of work to make this a reality. We have to do it based on our understanding and our belief that Thompson's going to be here for quite some time, and we have to meet provincial standards. So, good presentation. Again, we're going to provide lots of opportunities in the future for people to understand exactly what's happening.
204-677-8181. Now, you mentioned you were at the UCN installation of the second president yesterday. What were some of the things that took part there? I know there was some speeches and stuff like that. And how is that going to benefit Thompson moving forward and in the future, especially with UCN and some of the schooling and things like that?
Well, it was a very interesting event. Obviously, I've never been to an event like that, and so it was interesting to see. A number of speakers were here. The minister was here from Winnipeg, and I thanked him for coming. I think that's very important when ministers take their time to attend, along with a number of deputy ministers and some other guests. I think it's not just about Thompson; it's about the region, and I truly believe, as I said earlier, that UCN is going to be one of those key things that transitions northern Manitoba and residents in northern Manitoba in terms of future opportunities. And they could not have made a better choice than Conrad Jonason, who really, to me, is just a tremendous leader, very well respected, and I know cares deeply, not just about education, but about people in northern Manitoba. And for me, a great selection. I look forward to continuing our very positive working relationship that we've had with UCN and with Conrad. And I know the future looks tremendous in terms of already potential future development at that UCN campus in terms of addressing some of the challenges that we face in the north from an education point of view, such as trades and training and things along those lines. So great event and great selection.
And that will do it for CityBeat this week. But before we go, I'll give you the final minute to sort of run things down for the week ahead.
Well, again, this weekend's encourage people to get out and enjoy the winter weather that we certainly have. But again, please take caution in and around the community. We're trying to get back to a normal state in terms of some of the roads and things like that. But until we can get that done, again, ask for the patience and the cooperation. And I have to tell you, I've been extremely pleased with some of the comments we've received back from people in terms of the work that's being done and the cooperation that we've received. And I think it means a lot, and that's what it's about to be a community. So I wish everyone a great weekend, and we'll talk again next week.
And that will do it for CityBeat this week. Make sure to tune in every Thursday at 11:30 for more insight into your city and a chance to ask more questions. I would just like to thank Mayor Johnston for joining us today, and to everyone else, I hope you enjoy your Thursday.
CityBeat will be back next Thursday morning at